Loneliness is a feeling that we've all experienced at some point in our lives. It's that sense of isolation and disconnection from others, and it can be a difficult and painful emotion to deal with. There are various forms of loneliness. It can affect anyone at any time. Some individuals feel it even while they're surrounded by others, while others experience it only when they're alone themselves. Loneliness is awful, no matter what triggered it. Loneliness has been linked to a wide range of negative health outcomes, including depression, anxiety, and poor physical health. It can also lead to social isolation, which can make it even more difficult to overcome negative feelings. But there is hope. By learning to recognize and acknowledge our feelings, we can take steps to overcome it. Building strong social connections, improving our communication skills, and practicing self-care are all effective strategies for overcoming loneliness. This is a major public health issue. Loneliness is more than just an emotion. Various detrimental effects on both mental and physical health have been linked to isolation. Depression, anxiety, heart disease, high blood pressure, and even a lowered immune system has all been related to feelings of isolation that last for an extended period of time. On the other hand, research has found that those who have close relationships with their friends and family tend to have longer and healthier lives. Having a strong social network can alleviate feelings of isolation and boost health and happiness. Realize that feeling lonely is a normal part of the human experience, and it is not a sign of weakness. However, if feelings of loneliness persist, it's important to take action and start building the social connections that will bring you joy and fulfillment. It is never too late to make new friends and build a support system. You shouldn't let being alone shape who you are. It's crucial to keep in mind that experiencing loneliness is not a reflection on your character. Get out there and start making the friends that will help you live your best life. In this video, we will be discussing proven tips and strategies for overcoming loneliness and building a strong social network. One of the most important things to understand when it comes to overcoming loneliness is that feeling lonely is a normal part of the human experience. Everyone feels lonely at some point in their lives, whether it's due to a big life change, a loss, or simply feeling disconnected from others. It's important to acknowledge and accept our feelings of loneliness, instead of trying to push them away or ignore them. By doing so, we can start to understand what is causing our loneliness and take steps to address it. Recognizing our feelings of loneliness is the first step towards overcoming it. By building strong social connections and improving our communication skills, we can start to feel less alone and more connected to the world around us. For some people, loneliness can be triggered by a big life change, such as a move to a new city, the end of a relationship, or the loss of a loved one. For others, it may be caused by a lack of social connections or feeling disconnected from the people around them. The key is to identify your personal triggers and try to understand why they cause you to feel lonely. Once you understand your triggers, you can start to take steps to address them. For example, if you find that loneliness is triggered by a lack of social connections, you may want to seek out new ways to meet people and make friends. Or if you find that loneliness is triggered by feeling disconnected from the people around you, you may want to work on improving your communication skills and building deeper connections with the people in your life. When people feel lonely, they often try to ignore or suppress those emotions in the hopes that they will go away on their own. However, this can make loneliness worse, and it can lead to a cycle of negative thoughts and feelings. Seeing loneliness for what it is and accepting that it needs to be dealt with is the first step towards overcoming it. Realize that experiencing loneliness is normal, but if it continues, it's time to do something about it. Acknowledging that loneliness is a problem is the first step towards building strong social connections, improving your communication skills, and practicing self-care. These are all effective strategies for overcoming loneliness and improving your overall well-being. One of the best strategies to combat isolation is to expand one's social circle. The lack of friends and family can leave a person feeling isolated and depressed. There are countless ways to meet new people and make friends. If you want to make friends who share your interests, joining a club, group, or organization is a fantastic place to start. Gatherings of like-minded individuals, whether they be members of a book club, a sports team, or a hobby organization, can be great places to make friends. Book clubs, sports teams, interest groups, and even professional and community organizations and religious communities all fall into this category. Participating in a community group can be as general as joining a group that enjoys running together or as specific as joining a group that studies a particular breed of dog. Joining a club, group, or organization that focuses on your particular passions and hobbies can allow you to meet like-minded people. Meetings, events, and activities will be available for you to take part in, further fostering your sense of community. Helping others through volunteer work is an excellent way to expand your social circle and make a difference in your community. Having no one to talk to or share interests with can make you feel isolated and alone. The chances you'll have to interact with others who share your interests and values are a great perk of volunteering. One can volunteer in a variety of settings, from helping out at a food pantry or school to working on a community garden or a conservation project. There is always a need for volunteers, and whether you're looking for a short-term experience or a more permanent position, you can find it. One of the best things about volunteering is meeting other people who are as passionate as you are about the same cause. Your life's purpose and your sense of personal growth may both benefit from expanding your horizons. In today's digital world, participating in online forums is yet another wonderful method to meet new people and expand your social circle. Due to a lack of meaningful relationships, individuals struggle with feelings of isolation. Connecting with others across the globe is now easier than ever thanks to the proliferation of the internet and social media. Whether it's a social media group, an online forum, a chat room, or a virtual reality platform, there are many different kinds of online communities. They allow users to meet others online who share their passions and interests, even if they can't do it in person. It's possible to establish new acquaintances and broaden your social circle by participating in online communities, which can give you a sense of belonging and connection. People experience isolation because they lack the social skills necessary to make friends or interact effectively with others. If you want to be understood, listening is one of the most crucial skills you can develop. To have a meaningful conversation with another person, you need to be able to listen attentively, articulate your thoughts clearly, and establish rapport quickly. One of the most important parts of communicating well is listening actively. Rather than merely waiting for your turn to talk, you actively listen to and process what the other person is saying. Taking the time to listen attentively demonstrates that you care about what the other person has to say. One of the keys to effective communication is being able to express yourself clearly. This involves being able to express yourself concisely so that others can grasp what you're trying to convey. The ability to assert one's wants and boundaries in a polite, non-confrontational manner is essential as well. Building the kinds of relationships that offer happiness require the ability to interact with people. People experience isolation because they lack the social skills necessary to make friends or interact effectively with others. If you want to be understood, listening is one of the most crucial skills you can develop. To be a good listener, one must focus on the speaker, exhibit genuine interest in what they have to say, and absorb the information being conveyed. The focus should be on actively listening to the other person rather than merely waiting for your chance to talk. When you're a good listener, you earn people's respect, and they feel more comfortable opening up to you. By relaxing their guard, they are more likely to confide in you and disclose their innermost thoughts and feelings, which can help you become closer to them and strengthen your bond. It's also wise to hold back on making snap judgments or offering unsolicited advice. Good listeners are accepting and curious. The ability to articulate one's thoughts precisely is crucial to successful interaction with others. To communicate effectively, you must be able to put into words what you're feeling and thinking in a way that others can grasp. The ability to assert one's wants and boundaries in a polite, non-confrontational manner is essential as well. Clear communication is a cornerstone of establishing rapport and developing close relationships. When you have strong communication skills, others will have an easier time understanding your point of view, leading to greater empathy and ultimately stronger bonds. Constantly work on your ability to communicate effectively by refining your use of plain language, avoiding unclear or confusing comments, and being forthright and open. Body language, facial emotions, and tone of voice are all forms of nonverbal communication that should be taken into account. The relationships that will offer you happiness and pleasure begin with straightforward communication. A key to avoiding isolation is developing close relationships with others in which you feel safe expressing yourself. Being able to listen attentively and explain oneself clearly are two essential skills for developing close relationships with people. To be empathetic is to be open to hearing other people out and considering their point of view. Connecting with others on a deeper and more personal level requires laying the groundwork for trust and closeness. When we feel loved and supported by our community, it has a positive effect on our mental and physical health. Developing a safe and close rapport with others takes practice. To do this, it helps to make time for regular one-on-one conversations, to be open and vulnerable, and to share one's own experiences. The relationships that will provide you the most happiness and contentment are the ones you work hard to cultivate, and this begins with trust and closeness with other people. Taking care of your emotional and physical well-being is crucial in overcoming isolation and developing meaningful relationships. When you exercise frequently, eat well, and get plenty of sleep, you're taking care of your body. Your attitude, stress levels, and energy levels can all benefit from these routines. Activities like counseling, meditation, and journaling can all help you take care of your mental health. To better handle stress, boost your mood, and feel more whole, try these techniques. Taking good care of your body and mind will make you more resilient to the pressures and difficulties of expanding your social circle. Participating in group activities, such as a fitness class or a therapy group, can also be a wonderful opportunity to meet people who share your interests and passions. One of the most effective ways to combat isolation and strengthen existing relationships is through regular practice of mindfulness and relaxation methods. Meditation and other stress reduction practices can help you live in the present and appreciate what you have. Managing stress and negative thoughts through these methods may also facilitate greater interpersonal communication and the development of stronger bonds with others. You may practice meditation and other relaxation methods anywhere, from your living room to a yoga class to a peaceful park. There are online resources available to assist you in researching your options and selecting the most suitable strategy. Building the kinds of relationships that generate happiness and fulfillment is made easier by developing one's capacity for self-awareness and relaxation. Limiting one's activities and learning to cope with emotional stress are two steps toward overcoming isolation and developing meaningful relationships. Loneliness is a common human emotion, with several causes. These include a lack of social connections, unhealthy boundary setting, and inability to deal with everyday difficulties. Learning to say no when you need to and prioritizing your own needs and desires are essential components of boundary setting. Developing self-control entails recognizing your own limitations and recognizing and respecting those of those around you. Finding constructive responses to stress is an important part of stress management. Physical activity, mindfulness training, and psychotherapy are all viable options. You will be better prepared to deal with the difficulties of making new friends if you practice healthy boundary establishing and stress management. As a result, you'll be able to better communicate with others and appreciate their perspectives and constraints, which might have a positive effect on your relationships. Loneliness is a common experience and finding a solution can be challenging and daunting. However, keep in mind that it takes time and effort to develop meaningful relationships with others and conquer feelings of isolation. Putting yourself out there and trying new things can be scary, but remember that any action you take to expand your network is positive. Keep in mind that it's normal to make mistakes while you learn and be kind with yourself as you do. It's worth the effort it takes to put into developing meaningful relationships with others. Having a positive effect on one's health and happiness, social relationships bring with them a sense of belonging and support. It's important to keep in mind that it's worth putting in the time and effort required to overcome feelings of isolation. Take the time to appreciate the process of establishing lasting friendships as you move forward. Remember that establishing meaningful relationships takes time and energy but is well worth the investment. Having a positive effect on one's health and happiness, social relationships bring with them a sense of belonging and support. So don't wait, take action today and start expanding your social network.